Hello there, people on the internet. This is ShadowGear665 here, doing a review of a very old MOC and a very old character, Titan. Guess it's going to be a little bit of a backstory thing here. Titan originally, I think I was 14 years old, so how old would I have been? That's like 2007, 2008? No, I think it's even earlier than that, where I saw this MOC on Brickshelf. This is when I first got on the internet, as like, seriously, when I was younger. And I saw this giant MOC, this giant green cool looking Titan MOC, and I'm like, that looks cool, I want to build that. And so I outright copied it. I was able to make the torso, but not the arms or not the legs, not anything else. I just made the torso. I only had enough pieces to make just that. So whatever I could scrounge together, he had miscolored arms, a giant blocky torso, and this green Hordika head. And I named him Titan because he looked like a Titan, more or less, and I thought he was the coolest thing in the world. And if you go on my Mock Pages account or if you're an older fan of mine, seen older videos, you know who this character is, and I love him. He's nostalgic. Later on, I gave him gorilla legs and like a gorilla posture, and I might remake that in the future. I don't know. It depends on how I feel. Where I might turn this type of giant stocky body into something a lot more heavier, more gorilla proportions, something more of the vein of the original. Um, but I don't know. And then in 2011 or so, I made this version, which is honestly like for something like there are some definite things wrong with him, but for the level of customization and detail I put into him, like long ago, I'm kind of impressed. So, as I usually do, I'm going to start from the ground up and go right to the legs. So, the legs are probably the thing I'm the most proud of when it comes to this MOC, because there are some nice little details in here. First off, I'm going to take the arms off of this guy, because believe it or not, it's actually a little bit of a pain to mess around with them with the arms are kind of flailing around. So, like, this is back, I guess, when BioTube was using tires for everything, or started to use tires for everything, because I had the Heinz to put them on the heels, so he has traction when he's sitting on the ground, because he's a big guy, he's a big heavy guy, so he needs to have that level of, oh man, I'm trying to do the focusing myself this time, and I think it's working. So, also the feet, nice the Baraki armor used here, and the Metru foot and the Slicer foot, like a good combination of parts to make this nice triangular looking foot. Now, something that you probably can tell about this MOC, and it's been pointed out to me numerous times, and I'm finally starting to really agree with it. Um, this guy's covered in blue studs. This was a time when I started mocking, or not started, but when I was mocking, that I thought if I plugged studs into every single hole, it would make it look a lot better. It doesn't. It doesn't, because there are holes, there are studs inside of his feet. There are some on his knees here, and there's a ton on the torso. It doesn't look good. If I had to give some form of advice to people who want to mock and want to add detail, adding studs everywhere, no. If you want to add one translucent stud or one translucent piece in the chest, like going on here is kind of like a heart light, do that. But don't add them all over unless there's a good, significant reason to it. Like, my dog's made of fire, he has fire powers, or whatever you want to do. But if you're just using it to plug up holes and make detail, it doesn't look all that great. The lower legs, I think, for an older design, they're nicely built and compact. I like the jetpack on the back here. And the green Roxy foot, it definitely helps for a MOC that should have more dark green, but it doesn't. But again, like I could stand to take off these Baraki eyes, which for some reason are incredibly hard to get out. There we go. But yeah, there's that. And then he's got straight up ankle tilts. Nothing crazy there. It's a nice good ball joint that I think I sharpied the connection here, so it's a little bit tighter than it should be. It's cheating, I know, but I did it. Here, nice good ratchet joint for the knee. It is glorious, and this tube back here does not get in the way. Yeah, let's straighten everything out and then bring it up to them calves, thighs. I don't know anatomy. Nothing overly crazy about them. They're very thin looking at from the side, actually, but from here you kind of, well, yeah, they're still kind of thin. Something I wish I would do more recently. I think that's just because I don't make a lot of silver MOCs, is that I like using these pistons for the hip and waist area because it adds that nice great stability. Because he's able to keep his leg up, and a lot of Titans I make now are not able to keep their legs standing up. Dominion being one of them. He can't hold his leg up because there's just too much weight. And I would like to add a piston there, but there are no black pistons that would look good with the color scheme. But yeah, this joint can actually move a little bit. It has a little bit of give and way. So yeah, his leg's fully posable, as if there wasn't something there. But you know, it works. It's very very nice. Um, so yeah, hips are good to go. The waist, if you can't tell, there's that little bit keeps popping out. I don't know why. Well, I like the way the waist looks. Just it looks compact. It looks nice. The rubber bands I probably could do without, and I don't remember why I have them there. And to be honest, I don't want to know why I have them there because I'm afraid if I take that off, something's going to explode. I guess looking at his butt, not a crazy amount of detail going on, but you know it gets the job done. It does what it needs to do. All right, and I'm going to stop this recording, go to a new one. Woo! And I return. So now I move up to the torso, something that I've wanted to keep consistently. This isn't the same torso as the older one. I tried to make a smaller version of it to fit into the proportions that I had for the legs. And yeah, dem Kodak nipples. That's a thing. Oh, one more thing I should go over is actually the abdomen, because he's got a ratchety abdomen here, and this loose bit here, which is there to fill in that gap, but doesn't ratchet or anything. It just sits there with gravity. This ratchet joint. Oh, geez, that fell out. This ratchet joint is the reason I gave Guardian, the self-proclaimed son of this character, or just direct lineage, I guess. The ratchet joint in his abdomen, I gave it to Guardian as well because I wanted to have some form of connection with the older version. And yeah, makes a lot more sense to put it on him, not really on Guardian, but it's I don't know, it's a quirk, I guess. So, back to them nipples. Back to them Kodak nipples. Um, as goofy as it may look, I think it's a really cool design. I think using these for actual bits of a body, I think look great. And hey man, you know, they can still fire. And, whoa, I got one to fire. Um, and like it's not only I don't think it just only looks cool. It's a cool play pattern for a toy, especially for something like this size, because you can just put them back here and then just push them out like this, and you can just have a little play pattern. I think that's cool. Um, Looking back, I wish I put a lot more green in the torso. Like I wish I replaced this silver Hordeca foot with maybe something dark green to kind of make the dark green fit a bit more into the body. Um, So there's that. Nuva shoulders on the shoulders because I wanted to fill it in a bit more. Um, I forget how easily I can take these off or not. The connection should be fine. There we go. So if I left those off, it would have looked a little bit awkward. And speaking of awkward, we're gonna get to talking about everything's falling apart. We're gonna get to talking about the arms. Also, this piece, I feel like I had something connected back here at one point that made this a lot sturdier. I don't know what happened. That's the thing. So the arms, very awkward looking. If when I make a new version of this, if I'm gonna make a new version of this, he's definitely gonna have well more defined arms because. So these shoulder connections, like as cool as I say the Hordeak using the Kodak blasters for arm bits are, I need to fill something in there. Like that little gap bothers me, and I feel like I should have made the shoulder pads a lot bigger because it's dumb, and he can't hold his arms up. Like I believe I even sharpied these joints or tightened these ball joints to make his arms stronger, and it doesn't work. Like they just flop around. And the arms themselves, like I guess you can say they're a product of the times or whatever, but they're not terribly egregious. They're just kind of mediocre. Like having the studs on the shoulders, I don't think really helps. The green cord going through, I think, is okay. Shoulder joint's fine, but he can't really cross his arms or anything, which is a terrible point of articulation, but I'm just gonna leave that off. That keeps falling off. And then the biggest complaint I've had, and I can't say that I hate it so much I wouldn't do it again because I did it again on Guardian, where I gave him these cool looking hands. Well, not really cool. but he has no wrist, so he can't really be too emotive because his wrist is stuck. And then my thinking is that if I give him a wrist like right here, it would make his hand or his arm look a lot longer, and it just really wouldn't look right. So I sacrificed the articulation. So yeah, those are the arms, and they're not terrible. I mean, they fit with the MOC. I wish I did something more with them. And then lastly, the head. Nothing terribly crazy to talk about with this head. This is the one I've kept since the first version. This is the Hordika Vakama head that came with Karzani, the green version. And I think in another version later on, I don't know. I'm debating on doing this with Guardian too. Let me know what you guys think. I'm actually gonna change in these Balrog eyes inside of his head from this dark blue to just a Mata blue to make the eyes look a little bit more defined and bright. And I'm thinking about doing that with Guardian too. I'm not sure. Please let me know what you think because I'm really debating it. But yeah, that is Titan. Um, that's him. I still like this character a lot, and instead of revamping him, I decided to make a whole new character related to him instead to just kind of create this whole new team. Like, I wanted to make something completely new, but also have like homages to original characters I had. But I might revamp this guy as well. If you guys want me to, let me know, and I will definitely consider it. I got a couple projects going on right now that I want to finish, but I'll keep this one in mind for the future. Anyway, guys, this is ShadowGear665, and I hope you folks have a fantastic day. That wasn't the outro you were expecting, was it?